Andy and Jamie, what you got in store today?
Hey, Scott. Hello, Jamie. How are you?
Good day, my friend. What's going on over there, Andy?
Oh, man, not a lot. Just getting ready for Andy's trading studio here. Hello, everybody. I see a lot of regulars out there. I see a lot of new people, too. So actually starting out to be a pretty good crowd, and I am hoping we will not disappoint. I don't think we will. I got something good for you this afternoon. Hello, Waleed and Mike. All right, let's get started. And before we do, let's go over the good old disclaimer, talk about the legal stuff, get it out of the way, and then we'll bring on the dancing horses. How's that sound? All right, guys, we're going to be talking about some stocks here, some setups and things like that. But we just do not want anything to be construed as investment advice. That's not what we're here doing. It's for educational purposes only. If that's what you are seeking, guys, you need to look for a broker, an RIA, somebody who hangs that Series 7 license behind their desk. But we have much more fun, that's for sure. So let's dive in. Before we do, guys, bear with us regulars, but we do have new people at every one of these webinars, and we want to tell them about all of our support, education, and training here at Trade Ideas. So bear with us for a few minutes. Guys, we do realize our software is very powerful, and to some people it can be daunting at first, but we're here to help you get through that learning curve and to make it much quicker for you. We have tons of resources. I'm sure most of you know about the Traders Room with Barry. You can come in there and watch his monitor over his shoulder, see the software in action, and also listen to Barry call out trades. And not only that, we got about 500 traders in there and some really good ones. So great place to be, and it's free. That's the kicker. It's free for everybody. You don't even have to be a subscriber to Trade Ideas. We think you will once you get in there and you see how many people are using it and profiting in the marketplace. All right, we also have 4 webinars Monday through Thursday at 5 Eastern time, the same time slot you're in today. It's myself, Jamie, and Steve. We usually juggle around and handle 2 of us at a time. But on Wednesday, we do throw our CEO, Dan Merkin, at you, along with Brad Williams, his evil counterpart. And and that's a great place, guys, to go and see what is coming down the pike, what all the bells and whistles. We're constantly making new versions. So that's a great place to go and check out that. And let's not forget our Friday support session. All right, we have every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern time, we open it up for Q&A. And it's myself, Steve, Jamie, Sean, all in there. You guys come in there, ask your questions. We will answer them. We also have desktop sharing going so we can show you using the software should we need to, and in most cases we do. So get in there and let's talk about TI University. Guys, this is getting great feedback. Okay, it's when you sign up, you will need to register for this. Okay, don't miss it. It's 4 classes, Monday through Thursday, all at 12 Eastern time. We start out with Beginners 101 and just kind of progress, through the software and start from beginners and go to pretty much extreme advanced stuff when you get to 401. So telling you, about a week with us and you're going to have a real good feel for the software, guys. So get in there and check that out. Remember, you do have to register for each class. All right, Brokerage Plus. I'm going to be talking some about this today. If you want to learn more about it, what this is, it's a module and it's really cool. It's so advanced when compared to other execution platforms, order entry, blotter. It's really cool, and I've used many. Never seen anything like it. If you want to know more about it, go to trade-ideas.com/beta. Okay, this is a way for you to automate your strategies, and in the future, expecting it to be this first quarter, you'll be able to automate Holly as well. So once again, go to that address you see there at the bottom if you want to see more about it. All right, the agenda for today. We're going to talk about the market recap and the Holly recap. That's usually standard when you come to these webinars. Everybody likes to hear about the market and hear about how Holly did, so we'll definitely do that. And then the rest of the time, guys, I'm going to talk about building a strategy for Brokerage Plus. I get so many questions about this. You know, people come in, they're like, well, when's Holly going to be available? And I'm like, well, you know, soon I hope, but you're missing the big picture, man. This thing is so cool. It's so much more than Holly automation. And I'm going to show you today how we're going to take a top list window. We're going to convert it into an A window, an alert window. Because let's face it, it's all about the entry. And if you can get good entries and semi-automation, meaning let the Brokerage Plus get you into the trade, and that way you're just managing it. You're just cutting the losers and letting the winners run. So we're going to talk about it and basically just kind of talk about how you visualize and you build it. But anyway, let me back out of this and shoot, that always does that. Come on, you have to get me a new keyboard. Oh. All right, let's pull up the spies, guys. Let's take a look at what we're looking at here. All right, let's see. Oh, you're welcome, Waleed. You're welcome. This is what we're looking at, the spiders. There's not going to be a whole lot to talk about today. I mean, it's kind of, we're just kind of crawling. We tried to sell off today, and it's funny, we had a interesting little bounce here just in the last closing minutes, you know, to make it look respectable, almost like a little spinning top there, close to a doji. But for the most part, it was kind of, you know, just kind of sloppy downward action. Here's the 15-minute chart. Gap down, tried to fill the gap, couldn't get there quite, sold off, and then there's the, you know, the green bar at the end. So it's kind of a ho-hum day. We'll talk about Holly in a minute. I thought she handled it very well with both long and shorts. This today's was not an easy trader if you're trying to trade the market, that's for sure. But, you know, where are we? Well, we're kind of still right in the middle of this range we've been talking about. We're above our 200 now, and I mentioned a while back, this is what you want to see. I mean, trade about 4 or 5 days above that 200-day moving average. Then I think your chances of, you know, getting through this critical level, this is going to be, I think, a tough level to get through. We'll see what happens, but it's going to be a tough level. You're going to see that's going to be a lot of probably pin-up sales waiting for people who may have entered the market, you know, here and have been waiting all this time for it to get back up, maybe to get out of, you know, flatten their trades or whatever. But anytime you see that is serious resistance, so this could be difficult to get through. Maybe why today we started to slow down, sell off a little bit. Just we've come a long ways, and I was actually surprised we didn't sell off more today. But hey, not a whole lot of volume. Now we got our shorter term moving averages starting to fan out a little bit. You got your 10 trying to cross over your 200 now, so things are looking good. You know, as far as the you know, the moving averages are going, but you know, once again, big picture over the last year, we really haven't done a whole lot. Kind of in this still this range that we spent a lot of time in last year, and lo and behold, we're starting to spend a lot of time in it this year as well. So it's always good to go back and look at the big picture. It's easy to get caught up, you know, thinking, you know, things are great. And if you're bullish, things are a lot better than they were a couple of months ago, that's for sure. But long ways to go from highs. We still have to get through this level right here. So it could be kind of sloppy, choppy trading. We'll see. Take a look at the Qs. And a little bit different story there. You can see we're still battling the 200. Okay, makes sense when you look at some of the big Amazons, the Apples, some of those big FANG stocks that run the Qs. They're not having the strength they had this time last year, you know, in the market when they were kind of leading the way. So we'll see what happens there. Once again, not seeing the same level of strength as we're seeing in the SPYs and the Qs. I'm not going to pull up the diamonds today. Once again, that's, to me, that's just a really Antiquated 30 stock. Yeah, just I will pull up the IWM though, and must remember this one fell from grace a lot harder than the rest of them did. And you can see there that was just a huge fall, and so it's just now getting back to its 200-day moving average, hasn't gotten above it, so that may have some issues there as well. And if I pull this down to this level, yeah, you're going to have this is going to be a tough little level for the IWM, I believe. But Jamie, I think that's about it. We're kind of just hanging out the last few days as we try to crawl higher, but we may be running into some headwinds here.
You got that right. And then that, I guess, is that technically a V bottom? I mean, it's kind of stretched out to the right side on the SPY on the daily.
Sure.
But I mean,
absolutely it is. Yeah.
Just put V for Vendetta, right?
Yeah.
So interesting as we get up into this little bitty, I mean, who knows if this little bitty range that we're seeing up here is going to remain intact. But going back to what you were saying, it was a very difficult day in essence for any type of tell. I had some pretty strong downward readings on my compare count window. And, after that first 15 minutes, we did drop for the next 30 minutes and then whoosh right back up. But look, we went down there and put in, a new low before the bounce. There was definitely an undertow of selling today. Will it be continued? Unknown at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, let's see. I'm gonna see if I have anything to add to Holly. Although, before I hand it over to you, Holly 2.0. Anytime I look, and the spiders that we had today, very kind of narrow range, sloppy, for the most part down until that last move higher. When I see, an equal number of long and shorts, and she pretty much on risk off, everyone was pretty much a winner except for one. So. That's impressive. Nothing huge. I mean, no big winner, but nonetheless, just there. It was hard to get a winner in this market because you really had no follow through in either direction. But and then Grail didn't do too bad. But let me just real quickly see what the number of longs and shorts was. Now that was all long in Grail. Did have one stop out, but a nice little tailwind right there was a nice little buy.
Andy, the trade yesterday in Holly, TLRY, right?
Yep.
That kind of sums it up right there. That sums up the market conditions, because one moment, boom, up huge, and if you didn't take it, almost all the way back down, right?
Oh yeah.
A tough wiggle to sit, even though it didn't quite get back to highs yesterday. But that's the market that we're in. I mean, things can go either way at the drop of a hat. What I was, kind of focusing on.
What you referring to there? That TLRY? What was it?
TLRY from yesterday on Holly. Remember?
Oh, okay. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm looking at today's action. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have qualified that. But it's it's pretty much the same type of action today. And of course, we'll take a look at some Holly trades here in a minute. Not a lot of risk on to be had, but always a little bit.
All right. Well, I don't really have a whole lot to add, so I'll let you take a look. If you want to dissect a couple of trades or whatever, we can do that.
Yeah, it should be short and sweet for Holly today, because it is what it is. We did have a little bit of a double up today, so I'm assuming you can see my screen now.
I can.
Okay. All right, ladies and gents, as usual, I've got Holly Grail up here. We got Holly 2.0 in the middle and Neo down here at the bottom. And we can just take a glance up here at the toolbar and see what the three modules were up, cumulatively. What do we got? About $1.50 between these guys, another dime here. So somewhere in the neighborhood of $1.60-ish is what it's looking like here. Little bifurcation on the modes. Risk off for Holly 2.0, risk on for Neo and 1.0. We did have a little bit of doubling up of most of the profit for 1.0 is from the TLND trade, which was also duplicated in the Holly Neo section. This is common. Doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen from time to time. These were both generated from the exact same strategy, so all this trade data is the same for the TLND trade. So as far as risk on goes, whether we look at Neo's version or Holly 1.0 is neither here nor there. But looking at this TLND trade, an ideal candidate. This is just textbook for going, do I want to take a little bit more risk? Even though I see Holly exiting the trade, and we can see it went the duration today. TLND from tailwind. And if I drag my strategy panel back over here, we'll just take a look at 1.0. Tailwind designed around a 2-hour hold time. And so she pretty much stuck it out for the whole 2 hours. 15-minute candles here, we can see approximately 8 in here. But the shaded area also corresponds with Holly being in the trade risk off. So get into the trade and boom, it's just off to the races. Immediate gratification, profitable, not even acting any remotely like it was going to go test this stop area here, as we can see. But just a little sideways action. Tell you the truth, Andy, I'm kind of surprised she didn't pull the plug early. Seeing the sideways action using a profit save, because these patterns are typically the ones that she, hey, it's up, but here we're going sideways. So
Yeah, exactly.
flex it goes sideways, on this one, did not. I don't know, maybe they tweaked that algorithm a little bit. I like it. I like it. But when we get over here and the timed hold exits, and we see Holly exit, we can make that choice. Do I want to stay in, or do I want to close out with her? But this was such smooth action. Also, we have the added benefit of the 10-period SMA, the green line here. Never really popping through it, resting on it the whole way through here. And then right here, we can say, okay, maybe the half and half mode would have kept me in this trade for the duration. Could have plucked out half that lot for Holly risk off right here, kept the other half, give it a break-even stop loss down to the blue line. Kind of threw a little wiggle here, but then headed higher for the rest of the day to the tune of, what do we got in here, 65 cents. A 65-cent spread between risk off and risk on here. So whether you clipped out an extra dime, 25 cents, that was attainable risk on today. So just trying to capture a little bit of the spread in here. It'd be nice if you get the whole thing, but that's not very realistic. Even if you plugged out and made 90 cents, 85 cents, that's a considerable multiple above just going with the risk off. Now, Holly 2.0, you're not going to see any risk on spread here. Maybe a dime here, but you can see 7 cents here, a dime here, nothing to write home about. So as far as risk off goes in Holly 2.0, timely exits, and most of those were timed exits, profit save and a reduced risk. No stop outs for Holly 2.0 today. The only other little bastion of risk off, or excuse me, risk on, was in the LNTH quarterback from Holly Neo. Now, this one not quite as tight, right in that SMA, that 10-period SMA, as the TLND, but once again, not that harrowing of a risk, right? We see this whole time, even when Holly closes the trade out here, we continue to just kind of intermingle with the 10-period, but check it out. This was the closest it ever came to a stop, right? So once again, the decision to stay in a little bit right here. This one was hugging the line the whole time as far as the entry line goes. So let's see Holly actually closed this one out for a small loss. So this would have been the same mode, right? You're just like, well, give it a little bit more time, and if you had done that, you would have been rewarded, but the break-even play was not available via this one. So if you did stay in this one, you pretty much just had to stick to the hard stop and hope for the best. But seeing it ride the 10-period right there, it gives us a little bit of comfort, a little confidence to stay in the trade. But all in all, Holly, nothing to write home about. What's a little perplexing to me, Andy, with the Holly performance as of late is we got a lot better performance, a lot more trades, and a lot more alpha in this down move. It looks like, well, of course, we're going quite a few days back here. It's just felt like, since we're in the chair each and every day, there was a lot more opportunity here, and things are taking a lot longer to kind of catch up, and we're not seeing the big alpha days. Yesterday was a pretty decent day. for the Holly trio. What were we up, like 4 and change, 5 at one point? And of course, a lot of that was the TLRY, but man, that was a beautiful entry, and I just want to kind of illustrate that again. You know, today was a little lackluster, but boy, I wonder how many people got Holly right here, man, on that stock. And everybody's traded that stock once or twice, more than likely. One of the big cannabis stocks, right? But pretty good day yesterday. We could call it a big day, followed up by, you know, a $1.50, $1.60 today. Nothing to write home about. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but that's pretty much all the risk on that we had today.
All right. Good stuff, Jamie. As always, you break that down really, really good. Let me grab it.
I wish I had a little bit more to break down, but
oh, that's okay.
It gives what it gives today.
That's okay. I got some good stuff here. It could take some time, and then we can always finish up for some chart requests, but let's dive into it. All right. So guys, what I'm hearing this a lot, people coming in to our online chat or sending me an email, and you know, they want to know about Brokerage Plus and Auto Trading Holly. And Auto Trading Holly is going to be interesting. I mean, it really is. It's also it's untested, and we don't know what to expect. It's been all simulation from here on out, and when all of a sudden you open it up to X amount of traders, I'm not sure exactly how many that's going to be by the time we open it up, but you know, I got the feeling there's going to be some pretty good slippage. You know, I've always looked at Holly as a very special alert, but I have many special alerts, okay? And what I'm going to show you today, guys, because I think a lot of people, you know, come in here and they want to be given a fish instead of being taught how to fish. And so we're going to take a little exercise today to show you, and I just threw this together this afternoon, just on the first alert that I grabbed, and I was able to optimize it to where it would be, I mean, it's nothing breathtaking or anything like that, but it's definitely viable and could be used as a strategy. Because keep in mind, guys, what you want to be fed a dose of good entries. Okay, trading is all about the entries. And once you enter the stock and the trade, okay, it's going to be up to you. As much as you would love to have everything automated and take yourself out of it, it's going to be hard to do. But the beautiful thing about Brokerage Plus is the way it presents the data and the information to you. It makes your job a whole lot easier when you're just and I probably had of this amount. Now I'm still testing it, guys. So I'm paper trading it. I will be opening up soon and doing my own strategies, but I gotta, I've been working with it for about a month and a half now, but I'm just testing it, and I got some strategies I'm running. But what happens is I'm not just sitting here and just focusing on one stock. I'm looking at a whole portfolio, if you will, and it's a lot easier. I'm not getting caught up in the level two. I'm not getting caught up. I'm just kind of managing. I'm cutting my losers. I'm letting winners run with for me. Yes, there's going to be some losers, there's going to be some winners, and hopefully at the end of the day, your losers, your winners are going to far outweigh your winners, your losers, excuse me. But nonetheless, I just kind of wanted to show you, because once you get in here and you start sorting, risk on and risk off, I'm sorry, your profit, your P&L from losers to winners, and then you're just kind of managing. You're watching your losers and you're cutting them quick. This one right here, I think, got me. Yeah, this one got me good, right at the bottom there. So that tells me, I can kind of tweak this a little bit, so when I start seeing several of them getting caught out like this, I'll tweak my size a little bit so I can give myself a little bit more staying power and not have the tight, the stops so tight. But by using this, guys, I can't just tell you how intuitive it is and how it's going to really free up yourself, where you're not having to try to find all these trades. And what I wanted to do today is just kind of build a strategy with you to help you get some good entries. All right. So the first one I looked at today was pullback above 50 SMA Pro. Okay. You can find this in channel 4, channel bar. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I love this as far as a scan. It helps me find stocks that I may be interested in, what it's looking for. Let's just go ahead and show, because I'm sure not everybody in here has seen this. It's a top list right now. It's not, doesn't have an alert. It's all filters. Okay. And the way a top list works is anytime all your filters are satisfied, okay, it's going to be displayed inside the T window. We call it the top list window. So, and it refreshes every 30 seconds. So you'll find stocks, moving out and new ones coming into your top list. But basically, what this one is looking for, it's looking for stocks above $5, position in your range. They have to be in the upper portion of their yearly range. They have to be above their 50-day moving average. Position in 5-day range, guys. If I click on my Show Me button, it says the price is no more than 25% above the low end of this range. So I'm looking for strong stocks that are above their 50-day moving average, but they're pulling back and on their lower portion of their 5-day range. So I'm looking for pullbacks. All right, average volume, pretty simple there, 500,000. Position in range, okay? Let's click the Show Me button. This price is at least 75% above the low end of this range. So what does that tell me? Once again, I mentioned earlier, visualize it. Let's visualize what's happening here. A stock is in the lower portion of its 5-day range. It's in the upper portion of its intraday range. What that tells me, the stock tried to sell off again today. Buyers came in and they pushed it into the upper portion of their intraday range. I can't tell you guys how much that can tell you so much. It can tell you so much about human behavior, what's going on here, just by using some of these position and range filters. All right, that's it. Pretty basic. Okay, it gives me some really good possible entries. Here's one. Okay, looks good on the daily. Recently had a gap up, probably, no, that wasn't earnings, because I just see earnings happened recently, but filled the gap, and now it's putting in closing your highs today. Now, the way I would do this is I would use this as a scan, and tomorrow, if it takes out that high, I'm going to buy this, okay, and use that low, yesterday's low or today's low, as my stop. Okay, now I know my entry and I know my stop. Okay, from there on, it's just managing profits, hopefully, or if it goes the other way, you're managing risk. Okay, so this is great, but now I'm thinking, okay, why I might want to put this and build me a strategy to put in my Brokerage Plus to automatically enter these trades once they take out that high. Okay, so what I've done, no, well, I haven't done it. We're going to do it together, actually. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this top list into an alert, a window, so we can actually put it in Brokerage Plus and it will enter the trades for us. So how do I get a top list into an A window where I have alerts? Remember how I showed you this is nothing but filters. We have to have an alert to automate it or to put it into our Brokerage Plus. So we need to convert this into a window. Well, we have a little nifty collaboration feature. So if I click on collaborate, what it does, it grabs this code and I can copy all. And now I can open up a new A window. Doesn't matter, I can just go ahead and load it because I'm going to collaborate it anyway. Come on, it's being slow. I may have to turn off my Brokerage Plus. I think I am. Hold on.
You still getting those lagging issues?
Well, you know what? I haven't. This is the first time, and it probably has something to do with the webinar, because my new version's been working really nice. But I'm going to go ahead and disconnect here and see if that doesn't help things. I've already showed them kind of my blotter. Let's see here. All right. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to right click in here and go collaborate and paste all. All right, now it says pull back above 50 SMA Pro. So we now have taken this T window and we have made an A window, except if you look in configuration, the way it does it, it gives what's called a heartbeat, okay? Now, to understand what a heartbeat is, you have to think back when we first were developing trade ideas before we had top list. This is what we would use, okay, to basically to improvise for a top list. And what this would do, this would just send out a ping. This would just ping the market data every 5 minutes to see if these filters are being satisfied. And if they were, they would give you an alert and the symbol of which symbols were satisfying it. It's archaic now because we have top lists. We don't need this anymore. But what we have to do is we have to convert this into an alert that will work for us. And in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert it into a new high. Okay? And I'm also going to add a column, which is going to be type, so we can see it's a new high. I'm going to take out some of this stuff because it's kind of overwhelming here. All these, let's just take out these three. All right. And we'll put the type right here so we know now it's a new high coming through. We also have a little composite rating so we can check out the composite rating. All right, so now we have something we can back test. It's all about the back test, guys, and you really want to, you know, hopefully you have premium in your, well, if you want to use the Brokerage Plus, you're going to have premium anyway. Okay, so let's take this as it is, and we want to back test it. So what I'm going to do here is, I know there's a couple of things I need to do. Just once again, I'm visualizing it. So I'm going to go into my configuration here before I back test it, because I know there's some filters here I want to change. Because position in 5-day range. Remember, this was added as a filter for my top list. But here's the problem. Now we're looking for a stock that's going to be breaking through and hitting a new high. There's a good chance it will no longer be because it may have set up yesterday in a lower portion of its position in 5-day range, but now that it's running and hitting a new high, there's a good chance it could have moved higher. So what I'm going to do is be a little more lenient on here and just put 50. So now I'll grab those ones when they do hit a new high that may have just came out of their lower quadrant of their 5-day range. So I'm going to loosen this up a bit. Once again, just using common sense a lot of times. I'm also going to bring this down because this is going to be a multi-day hold. I'm going to go ahead and lower this volume so I get more trades to 300,000 shares a day instead of 500,000. Position and range, really, guys, this doesn't even come into play because the stock has to be hitting a new high. So we know it's it's at the top of its intraday range, so we can just omit this. All right. And there's one thing I want to add also in this one. I want this position in previous days range. Remember how I told you I don't want to buy this unless it's taking out the high of the previous day? But I want to get a little bit of a head start. So I'm going to come in here and put 98. So that way, you know, I won't, you know, I may catch it right when it's hitting that new high versus putting 101 in here. By the time I see it get over there, or my auto trader executed, if I do auto trade with it, it may have, you know, may get some slippage. So I'm trying to catch it early here by putting position in previous days range. And for you guys who are new in here, what this means is the price is at least 98% above the low end of this range. So what it means is it's really close to taking out yesterday's high. 100 would be yesterday's high. So I want to see it right when it hits 98, 99. All right. I think that's all. Let's back test this. And let's just go ahead and open it up all the way. Timed exit, we are going to do at the market open. We're going to do this a 3-day hold. At the market open, 3 days. Risk management, we are going to use a 2%. It's a swing trade, so we're going to use a 2%. Change that to percentage. What I'm doing is enable stop loss at 2%. And I'm going to enable the profit target at 6%. So that's a nice 3-to-1 ratio. All right, advanced, I'm going to open this up all the way to 60 days. We want a good sample size. And let me just make sure I got everything right here. Entry. And let's simulate buy. The first run's not going to be good. And the reason I know is because just from experience with these kind of trades, there are a lot of head fakes in the opening 30 minutes where you get gouged. And it's going to show you a good reason why, guys, maybe the first 30 minutes of the day to sit on your hands. See, that looks awful. Look at that big old giant drawdown there. And really, I mean, basically ends up about flat. You don't lose a whole lot of money with this strategy. But let's see. Let's go into our optimizer, guys. And what we're going to do is take a look. You can see the profit factor 1.16, 41% winning percentage. This is just nothing good, nothing to write home about for sure. But we're going to go to optimization, and we're going to look at what I believe are the 2 most important variables when it comes to optimizing, and that's price and time of day. I always put my time of day on 30 minutes, and then sometimes I even take it down to 15 minutes. Okay, look at there. Look at all these trades, guys, in the first 30 minutes of the day that are just crap. Okay, the setup happened. Everything worked like it was going to, but you got what's called a head fake in that first 30 minutes. Market makers are really good when they have a sale, like stock to sell. They can make this stocks look beautiful, like it's a perfect setup in those first 30 minutes to draw in and sucker all those in and just beat them over the head. So, but this is beautiful. Now I know, really, I don't really want to start this thing to probably about 9:30, but I'm going to even go down further to about 15 minutes. And 9:30 actually looks pretty good. All right, we may come back to time one more time, but we're going to try this again by running it, starting at 9:30. You can see we're going to shave off all these bad trades right here by starting it at 9:30. And then if you follow me down here, it really doesn't look that good. Well, these are bad, but you have some more good ones down here. Oh, geez, let's do.
You know what, Andy? I've been thinking about this for a long time. It'd be nice if we had an omission of certain times or prices, whatever
It
we're
would
looking
be
at here, because the only other option now is to create separate strategies for these green zones if you want to avoid the red. But that's something we really need to think about, is being able to just go, ignore all this, but keep this. Ignore all this, but keep this, you know, in future versions.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that would be a good feature.
Yeah, in many cases, guys, it's an anomaly, and really, I kind of want to do some more. I'm gonna run a back test. I may do it a couple of times, but really, there's some really good. Look down here, man. You got some really good profits factors and some nice. So I'm gonna take it for right now all the way to 1 o'clock. So we're gonna run it from 12:59. We're gonna run it from 9:30 to 12:59 and see what happens. Oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that. Oh well, we know that one's crap anyway. We don't need to really compare, but let's run this again. Started at 9:30. And run it to 12:59. Okay, I can already see it's going to be better. Okay, wow, look at there. We've taken it to a profit factor of 168 just by sawing off that early morning and that late afternoon. We got it to a profit factor of 1.68, winning percentage is not all that great, but we got a nice average winner versus average loser. This is not bad at all. You can see it's looking better. Now, we do see a big draw down here, guys, but keep in mind, all right, that was one of the harshest sell-off we've had in the last 10 years, honestly. This right here in the SPYs in December, that was ugly. This is why you're seeing this, all right? This is gonna look like this in a lot of long strategies, okay? I mean, I'm not gonna discount it and say it won't happen again, but this was unusual, and even with that sell-off, guys, we're including we're including this data because I'm testing back 60 days, which is basically, those are trading days. So we're basically including all this action in here in this bullish strategy. So it's accounted for. Now, let's go in and see if there's anything we can do with time of day. We did that. Okay, I still think we may be able to solve this. I'm going to run this again. Let me see. Yeah, look at that right there. I probably start this thing next time at 9:45. That's pretty bad right there. But anyway,
Andy, just for giggles, put the minute interval on 5 minutes. Let's just see what that looks like.
Okay.
Didn't really change a whole lot. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. Sure. All right, but what I really want to do price right now, and we're going to do $10 range because this goes all the way up to 500, and I am seeing, okay, this is not good. The $0 to $5 to $10 is, we can chop that off. We can actually chop that off. That's not good. $20, it starts to get a lot better. Okay, so what we're going to do here is right click, and we're going to make $20 the minimum. I'm going to go right click and automatically puts it over there for me. That is really nifty. And then we're going to look to see if there's any advantage to chopping off, not seeing really anything. It gets a little bit, these are all small trades. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put it at 289 and see what happens here. We're going to go max 289. All right, now let's put this on summary and we'll run it again and compare just by changing and I may come back and do that time after I do this. Come on, get over that last hurdle. All right, now we got it up to 184, and we've got our winning percentage, guys, up over 50%. We're at 51%, and look at this. We got our average winner up to 2.25, average loser minus 30. That's not bad at all. So it's getting real. It's really good. Now I'm gonna add one more, and what it's going to be is. Actually, I'm going to take a look at time one more time and put it on 15 minutes again. Yeah, look at that. Look at that right there, guys. See, since I adjusted my price and then I came back to time, now I know I can shave off this first 15 minutes. So I'm going to start at 9:45. One more time here on the price. I'm sorry, the time of day. We're going to start at 9:45. Simulate buy. Let me get my alert out there. So getting much better. Now we got a profit factor of 209, and we got 54% winning percentage, and we still got a very nice, it actually improved. The average winner went up 2 cents. So looking better each time we do it. Now this is a very, very viable strategy that you could use in Brokerage Plus. I'm going to do one more thing, And a lot of this, guys, as you use the back tester, you will learn kind of which filters, because we can optimize based on all of our other filters as well that we have. So we can come in here, and what I want to do, just because I know this one works a lot, I'm going to do a SPY change, a SPY percentage change for the day. Okay, so what I'm doing now, guys, is I'm going to see if I can optimize it based upon what the SPY is doing in the market. So I'm going to put this on 0.25%, and see if I can, well, look at there. I know I can shave 8 trades off there, and then look at this below when the market is up, you know, higher than 1.49%. You better not be chasing some of these. You can see how it drops off right there as well. Okay, this gets better, but there's some really bad ones, 17 trades right there. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go in here, we're going to right click, and we're going to use this as the low, min. Goes back into my window configuration and puts it in there for me. And then we're going to use 1.49 as the high. Whoa, something went off. 1.49 as the high. All right. Hit OK a couple of times, and this will be our last time. I love it when you can get something to optimize without using, you know, a dozen filters, because then, once again, guys, you start messing around, flirting with curve fitting. So this is probably going to be the last thing I do. Let's run it, see what happens. You may have to fill me in what Wally's talking about. All I see is, oh no.
No, we were talking about the in the optimization tab there, some of the profit factors were saying max. And I think that's just when a stock comes through and it wins all the time. It shows it as max, right? Yes. But I thought he was talking about the profit factor at the top there, which that one, I have seen an infinity symbol up there. Have you ever seen that before? If you get some crazy,
huh?
Yeah.
I don't know if
but anyway, yeah, not really. Doesn't really mean anything, because you're not finding those, and when you do find them, it's because there's some weird stocks in there, so it's not real. But anyway.
Okay, gotcha. All right. I looked over there and just saw it. I'm like, oh no, did I make a mistake? All right, guys. So this is a this is a good strategy, guys. Our final profit factor is 2.29. We got 368 trades, almost a 56% winning percentage, and we got a nice, you know, average winner versus average loser. And once again, this is also considering that big move down we had in December. So that doesn't mean, yeah, we can see moves like that again for sure. The beautiful thing about it is, guys, when you start using this Brokerage Plus, you have the controls. Okay, if the market is not indicative, if you think it's not indicative of your strategy being profitable, use a little common sense. Okay, so in other words, if you have this loaded into your Brokerage Plus and you have it turned on one morning, and then all of a sudden you see all hell breaking loose in the market, you know, all it takes is to go back over there. Oh, I think I may disable this one for right now. All right. It's man and machine, and that's what's beautiful about this. And this is, guys, this is a strategy I took today. I grabbed the first window and I did this, and this is what you need to start doing. Because I tell you what, I can hand you strategies, but honestly, if I'm handing you a strategy out to somebody in one of these classes, then by the end of a couple of weeks, there's probably going to be 300 or 400 people using that strategies. Everybody's going to be tripping over each other on the entry. So what you want to do, the point I'm making is, if you work at it and you build your strategies and it's yours, and it's no one else is using it, and that's when it can become beautiful. And remember, everything doesn't need to work out perfectly for you, because the entries are being made for you in Brokerage Plus, and then you're just managing. That's where you take over, and you can actually get far better results than this, okay? Because this is going to run the full gauntlet no matter what the market does. When you back test, it's going to adhere to the stops, it's going to adhere to the hold times, but this is where you, as a man, you got control once the trade is in, and you can cut them a lot sooner, you can let them run a lot longer. There's so many things you can do with it. I mean, I'm going to share this one with you, but it's, I just wanted to show you how you can take something out of Channel 4 or one of your own strategies and start working with it, and really build something beautiful that you can use to work for you in Brokerage Plus.
Hey, Andy, real quick here. William was asking the question here. If you go back to that latest scan.
Sure. This one right here?
Yeah. So notice, William, the buying power required is showing, we'll just call it 338,000. And that is if you wanted to be in every trade on the busiest day, right? Which I think your equity there, to get the equity from pink to white, should be about 85,000. If you took up equity at 85,000, then that would turn white, letting you know, yes, that's the amount of equity you would need to be in $338,000 worth of stuff on a 4-to-1 ratio. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And also, you got to remember, this is based upon buying 5,000 of every trade, which you might not want to do that. Maybe, especially, no one should start using it at Brokerage Plus. You need to be playing very, very small size. So you may only want to buy 300, 400, 500. So you can play around with it. Once you do that, take this down to even 1,000. It's going to chop this. Well, I'll tell you exactly what it would do. 1,000 would be 25% of that, whatever that would be. So you may be looking at 80,000 or something like that buying power. But let me go over here because I had this already ready for you guys because I worked on it once, and I need to change the 289, this one right here, to 289.99. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to save and share this, and for those of you guys who are in here for the first time, I can share this with anybody who has the software, and they can start using this immediately. So I'll drop it in the chat. I don't have any other links to drop, so I don't need to label it. I'm just going to drop it in there for you guys to grab it. And even if you're not planning on auto trading, you can find some really good alerts coming through here. Obviously, you can see from the back testing. The newest, Dean, the newest version of Trade Ideas is our 0.67 beta. If you go to our products page at trade-ideas.com, if you go to our products page, scroll past the production version, and you will come to our beta. It's 0.67. That's the one you want to grab.
By the way, Andy, speaking of versions, are you on 6.7 or 6.9 currently?
I'm on 6.9.
Okay, so you're still experiencing that little laggy issue even on 6.9?
I haven't at all as far as trading goes. This is the first time during this webinar, and I've done other webinars, so I don't know. I have tons of stuff open, so it could be just there was something going on.
Okay.
Yeah, it probably has something to do with GoToWebinar. I have not. 6.9 has been working beautiful for Brokerage Plus. And I imagine that's going to, yeah, Wally said he's experiencing laggy. 6.9 should be coming out pretty soon because I've been banging on it now for, a couple of weeks, and it's working nice. Oh yeah, David, you're welcome. You are very welcome. I think that's it, guys. So yeah, we're getting close. We only got 3 minutes left, so let me do this. Let me close out of some of this. I did share that window, and you guys play around with back testing. That's how you're gonna start being able to create your own strategies to use in Brokerage Plus. And I will invite Scott to come back in here, and we will finish out.
Thanks, Andy. Yeah, a couple items on the way out. Andy and Jamie both contributed to this book. It's a great free ebook, 5 Ways to Win in a Post-BTFD Market. Get it free at trade-ideas.com/ebook. Just put in your email address and get the download link if you don't already have it. Definitely something that's worth your time. We got a podcast. We might have a new episode out tomorrow. It still remains to be seen, but usually it's weekly. Just search for Trade Ideas Podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Add us as your subscription, and do check out the past episodes. There's some good ones with guests that we have in the stream, and it is a way to keep up on what all the new developments are and get teased about what the next releases are going to contain, all that kind of stuff. And there is a product code, Trade with TI, all caps. You can use that to save 15% off the first month or year of any subscription. And those of you that are on standard can also do that. Use that when you're doing an upgrade. Just log in from the home page in the upper right and choose the Change My Subscription page, and then use that code when you're doing it. Thanks, everyone, for attending. We'll have a recording of this up later on tonight or tomorrow. And you get an email reminder tomorrow from GoToWebinar with the playlist location. You can follow Jamie on Twitter at QuantBob. You can follow Steve Gomez at Today Trader. Facebook.com/TradeIdeasPro is the Facebook page to like so we can share stuff with you. Info@trade-ideas.com is the best place to send any questions or support-related items. That goes directly into our support software and gets routed to the appropriate team member that's available to answer that question. Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Jamie. Thanks, all. Have a good one.
No
Thank you,
problem.
Scott. Yeah, and guys, thanks to you for all your kind comments out there, and we'll see you tomorrow in the Friday sports session.
Yep, come one, come all. Anything TI related, we'll be there. Bye-bye.